My name's Rick and I'm an addict. I like to buy other people's broken project cars. Yesterday I bought a supercharged Civic Type R FN2 that overheats and it's got no interior in it. Let's see what I bought. So here she is, bit of silver Japanese JDM-ness going on. It's a bit grubby because it's been sat outside for like the last 2 or 3 months because it's a bit broken. So it's a bit green, headlights are a bit faded. And then this is the power plant. I don't actually know what power it's running, and I'm not sure the previous owner does either, because while he was running the new clutch in, it started overheating and he's parked it up. So this is your supercharger kit, intake, so yeah, supercharger, it through the intercooler, that's your rad, intercooler's there, sorry, into the intake, and then the engine. It's also got intake induction thing over here, which I'm convinced is just drawing hot air off the engine, but someone might tell me wrong. Then it's got a 4-branch manifold into a Miltech exhaust system. It's got uprated diff, uprated clutch, uprated drive shaft, but that's no good if it's not making any power and it's overheating. And then this is in the back, absolutely no interior whatsoever. Literally all the plastics are off. All the, I don't even know what that is, lots of bit of sound deadening stuff. You can see the speakers. This is literally all the seam sealer stuff. But at least you can see it's not too rusty. That for a Honda is not rusty at all, or for any Japanese car. So at least we know it's solid inside. And then if we have a look in here, we can see that that's all your dash and some of the, all the interior. Center console is out, underneath the dash is all out, no glove box over there. Underneath the glove box over here is all gone. However, I have charged the battery up and it does, if I get steering lock off, oh, come on. So it does actually fire up as long as it's not in gear. So it's now charged the battery up, it does start on the button. No, it literally on the button. I keep trying to twist the key. Brilliant. Okay, I lied. So I might have to get a new battery. You being serious? Oh, what? Battery's dead. Literally had this running earlier as well. Temperature gauge, which is that one there, literally gets to the middle where it's like roughly happy, and then as it ticks over it just keeps climbing higher and higher and higher and higher and higher, and then I'll switch it off. So while I'm thinking about it, let's put the battery charger on it. C-Tech for the V-Tech. 1, 2 lights. I'll put it on a reconditioning one as well. Hopefully I'll liven it into action again. It's up to 3, so that's taking charge, that's good. So the reason that I've ended up with this, and I can't say no to, especially a Japanese potentially problem child, is I was on a Petrolhead Tours reunion last weekend and got chatting to my good buddy Paul, who said, oh, he said, I've got just a car for you. I was like, no more cars, no more cars. And he went, oh. And I was like, well, you got to tell me now. He said, well, my mate's got a Honda Civic Type R. I was like, oh, yes, I'm a bit of a Honda fan. He said, he supercharged it and it's overheating. I'm like, right. I said, does it run and drive? He's like, yeah. But he said he can't drive it very far and it overheats. So I was like, right. I said, well, send me a video of it running. And it seemed to be happy enough running. There's no like knocks or bangs, there's no coolant and oil pouring out, but it does overheat. So he said he literally just drives it for like 4 or 5 miles. He was trying to bed the new clutch in and it was just overheating. So he's parked it up. He said he's lost faith with it. He just wants it gone. So it's me and Dom from the pub. Everyone knows Dom from the pub. If you're a subscriber, you'll know. We went up with his SUV and his trailer to go and have a look at it, potentially cart it home. It's literally been sat in the street. All the brakes were rusty. We thought all the calipers were going to be seized on. We literally moved it back about a foot, and then there was like worms and mud and stuff under the tyres where it had been sat for ages. It was covered in like grime and green and whatever. But it fired up. It sat there purring away, and then sure enough, it just crept up and up and up and up and up, and we just switched it off. So I don't really know what's wrong with it. If this is a common thing on supercharged Type Rs or any Type Rs, I don't know. Obviously, it's had a new intercooler. It's had all all the pipe work and stuff as well. So I don't know if there's a problem with that. I don't know if there's a problem with the thermostat. I mean, it could be anything really. Anyway, it ran long enough that we could get it on the trailer. And then annoyingly, when I got it on the trailer, I couldn't open the doors because the trailer that we had is meant for a single-seater race car, so couldn't open the doors over the wheel arches, so I had to climb out the window. And then if you don't open the door, the windows still work after you've turned the key off. So I turned the keys off, pulled the keys out, reached in the window and done the automatic window. The window came up all the way. And then when I got back to the farm in the dark, so I just dumped it off. And then in the morning, tried to unload it, and I had more problems because the back of the car had actually shifted over slightly, which then meant I couldn't get one of the ramps out. So I had to like move the back of the car over with the forklift. So thankfully I got a forklift here. Otherwise I would have had to bodge something with a jack or something to move the back of the car over to get the ramp out. And then I had to empty all the interior out to climb through the car to get into the driver's seat, climbed all the way into the driver's seat, went to go and crank it over and it wouldn't fire. So I had to go and get a jump pack. Well, my dad got a jump pack actually. And then I managed to drive it off the trailer. So yeah, not ideal. Speaking of the interior, all the interior's over here. So one of the things that he hadn't mentioned, I mean, it's not his fault, he just obviously forgot, is that all the interior, he'd stripped it all out because he was going to roll cage it and turn it into a bit of a track weapon, which obviously if it's running spot on, it will be a track weapon. So I've emptied all the interior out. That most of this was in the back of the Type R, and then some of it was in the back of my buddy Dom's Volvo XC90. And then I've just put it all in the back of my little Honda Acti truck, which is basically a four-wheel drive wheelbarrow. It's well handy. But here's all the interior. So literally, I think he thinks I've got everything here. If he finds anything, he's going to let me know. But here's all the door cards for the back, glove box, and new thermostat, which we're going to put in anyway, probably just so that we know. That's the bit that goes on the back. Here's the like centre glove. Oh, well, no. Got some stuff in there. That's just centre armresty thing, and then these panels to go somewhere I don't know. Type R, and then the fun will be getting all this back in and working out where it all goes. That's a parcel shelf. So I don't know. While it was all out, probably give it a good steam clean or jet wash. I'm not sure if I really want to jet wash all this while it's out. Some stuff probably wouldn't hurt. That's the mats and stuff under there. I don't know. Oh, you've got jack and stuff here. Yeah, I think it's all here. Well, I hope so. I think there's another couple of bits over here. Here's the other seat. So the back seat's looking pretty good, Nick. And then this is the boot floor, maybe. I don't know. The front seats look a bit grimy, but again, they'll probably steam up, especially in fact, if you look at the comparison between the two seats, you can see the driver's seat has had a dirty overalls in it probably. Well, I'll be honest, that's what it'd look like if it was mine anyway. And then we're going to get all this cleaned up because it's just literally, like I say, it's literally just been set outside and it's a bit minging. So there you go, just a quick introduction really to my next project. If you've got any hints, tips, comments, questions, put them in the comment section below. What I should be checking, any recommendations. I'm near Chichester on the south coast, so if there's anyone down there that does this sort of stuff, I'm probably going to take it to Devil Developments because they do tuning and mapping and that sort of stuff. I don't think it's the map. I've already asked them and they said even if it's like massively overfueling, it shouldn't be overheating, at which point it would hardly be even running, I don't think. So any other hints? So yeah, thanks but no thanks to my buddy Paul who suggested this car to me. Big thanks to my buddy Dom for carting it all the way back with me from the Cotswolds, and shout out to the previous owner Dave, and fingers crossed, arms, legs crossed and lots of prayers that we're going to get this running, and hopefully it's nothing terminal. I don't think it's anything terminal. Even if it's head gasket, it's head gasket. It's not the end of the world. It's definitely not knocking, tapping, leaking water, oil, coolant, etc., etc. So, and Honda's gone forever. I'm a bit of a Honda fan. I've got another Honda Civic, an EK4 over there in the background. I've got my little Acti. They always start on the button. If this had some battery power, it'd start on the button as well. So we're going to top it up with some electricity and then investigate in the next video while it's overheating. But there you go. As always, like, subscribe, please share. Any tips in the comments, and see you on the next one.